How can it be that it is much more easy to know what you're talking about by talking or listening to you? As soon as I am connected to you, often it's immediately know what you talk about. Well, that's just thoughts appearing in this boundlessness that you know it more. And those thoughts and that energy of it being you is what veils this. Seemingly what happens when we're talking is that's dropping momentarily, and there's just this resonance, this explosion, this knowing of what's being talked about beyond the words, because it can't be found in the words, because it is, and the words appear in it. Aliveness isn't a source of the words. It's just so beautiful, this subject. This very simple bit of non-duality is so lovely. This is it. It's all it. So that's just stories that are coming in saying it's more effective with Lisa. Then they disappear, and then there's room. And they come back in, and there's this again. Come and go. But your mind-body mechanism is more awake than most. You can see that, can't you? No, Ben. No, Ben. Somebody can't see that. The only thing that can happen is thoughts of comparison can appear, of before and after. But that's just thoughts of comparison. They are no longer who I am. Isn't that crazy? It's a shift seemingly has happened. From before, who I was the body-mind mechanism and a story in time. Now, the story of time appears in this. And when drinking the tea, Ben, all there is tea. Then that question's asked, and maybe a thought pops up of before, when the body-mind mechanism was contracted, and compares it to this right now. But then those thoughts disappear, and that's gone completely. Then there's just this. But that's not who I am anymore. The mind is so used to seeing itself as somebody in time. She can't see herself as enlightenment or as enlightened. She must see herself as something. Just life appearing. Appears, it disappears, it appears, it disappears. Thoughts appear and disappear. Comparisons appear and disappear. That's not a truth. So sometimes when speaking with people, there might be a telling of a story that happened, and the before of a contracted me, and then that just disappearing. But then life is just happening. And there's not someone there telling the story that Lisa is enlightened. Lisa is now enlightened and Ben isn't enlightened. And that the dog isn't enlightened, or the cup isn't enlightened, or who is enlightened or who isn't enlightened. Sometimes when body-mind mechanisms are crying their eyes out, there is a thought that appears describing them as suffering, but sometimes it's not, and then there's just tears and crying and shouting, and it's as it is. This is so nonsensical, though, to a thought, or to that me energy, because that me energy only sees the world through me and the separate world, and who I am is someone in time. But time appears and disappears in this. You're not somebody that's not enlightened or enlightened either. This is great, this subject.